just gotta wait for it to boot up on this now. Hey everyone, welcome to Ore Farming Sim. As I'm starting to do a monologue, making sure that that's a good way to test, see if the sound's working. Hey, look at that. Thanks for the evening of likes. Well, I guess what we need to do again is I need to put my frickin' mouse on. There we go. My old one. I'm back to using a 12-year-old mouse. I was having major issues with one of the other ones. I can change my wardrobe if I like to, but I don't think so. So what do we have here? We have about 2,000 liters of oil. I was thinking, I was originally going to put like another one here, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up doing like an oil grasshopper here, all over the map. When I start buying more land and stuff, I'm gonna, buy more of that and move it and all that stuff. How is our crops doing? I have not checked my crops in a while. That's getting darker. That one might be getting closer to ready. That's definitely not ready. But let's go visit this place. Let's go check on this stuff. I haven't checked on this stuff in a while. Well, we're under 9,000. We're gonna have to finish up our hay field pretty soon here because we're going to desperately need to bring some food in, get all this stuff done. We have about 591 liters on this. So yeah, we definitely got some. We got some wool. We got some bees. I guess they're not fully done yet. 195 liters. We do have, for all those that don't know, we do have 2 pallets of honey here. When we get about 16 pallets of honey, that's when we're going to haul it in and see what we got. And of course, let's check our chickens while we're down here. They've got about 18,000 liters of food, and we've got about half a pallet. Can't remember what that is in relation to what everything else is. Hey! Turns out our trailer is full. That's groovy. Our truck is, yeah, we're all ready to go. I actually, the more I look at it, yeah, we're hauling less bales, but this is other than the top, this is a nicer load. It really is. Yeah, let's go, that's the truck. Somewhere here. There it is. There we go. Let's put this down. Let's get baling. We have absolutely no bales, so I think probably the good start of this is to do about 4 or 5 runs and just land. Desperately need bales. Like I said, we have nothing. We literally have nothing out here. And also quickly checked everything. Yeah, chickens actually says that we don't have any eggs, but we do. We got lots of food. And these ones, they go down to about 7,500, but we definitely need to get more food to them soon. Contracts, we're about 50, holy crap, well, we've completely missed. We're off on a tangent here. We're still waiting around for potatoes to grow so we can get those other 2 contracts done, because that's the only way I could conceivably see us getting anywhere on that. And obviously this is a huge contract. This is a huge hayfield. And we actually still got a bunch of rows of bales down here. I still want to get about 3 or 4 more rows done before we haul that other guy. We're actually, you know, it's stupid. We look at that and you go, hey, we actually don't have that much left. We're not even in the middle of the field yet. Yeah, Yeah, we're not even close to the middle. That's moderately depressive. Like, we're not far from middle. I'd say maybe another 2 rows and then we're in the middle. We've hauled more than the middle amount of bales, which means I'm hoping for a bit more of a payday. And if it gets to that point, I'm going to stop doing these and I'm going to buy myself a round baler. And just because I almost want to say I want to keep them for myself. It's not selfish, but either I sell them as a secondary or my stream seems to be goofed. Hang on. There we go. That's better. It was just saying my chat needed to be relogged. So yeah, what I'm thinking, and call me crazy, is if we manage to haul all these bales in, and that's what we wanted, that because this is nice grass, I think the sheep can handle this stuff too. So what I'm thinking is that it's good feed. It's actually more usable than the pile of grass that we actually have there. We'll use up the grass and stuff that we have there, but we'll haul a bunch of bales there too. I don't know if I will necessarily wrap them yet. I don't know if they can handle silage necessarily. I think it's just grass, but hey, if we just bring bales of grass, that's good enough for now as well. We're still not in the middle. Well, it's that time of night. Settle back. Enjoy some good talks with you fine folks. And yeah, just do some farming. Always gotta do some farming. Farming is good. And yeah, since I have you guys all here anyways, I might as well point out that there will be a new series launching tomorrow night. So if you guys want to take a look at something a bit medieval, sort of a top-down play, but it has a lot of, run-of-the-mill, chop 'em, slash 'em, all that stuff. Yeah, we're starting a new series, and be sure to check that out. That one is not a live stream. That one is just the regular videos, so be sure to check it out. So far, from what my understanding is, we have about 50 weeks of content for you for that. And of course, our editor is busily chopping away at that and making the videos. And unfortunately, I am sad to say, Gold Rush is coming to an end. For this season, we are planning on bringing it back. That's not an issue. But very much, Gold Rush is coming to an end here in about 5 weeks. Might have shot myself in the foot on that one, but yeah, I think it's about 5 weeks. Still not going to tell you guys. You physically have to go out and watch it. But yeah, some good stuff going on there. I was surprised how much I actually got in the end. So that's why I say you gotta check it out. You gotta take a look. And if you haven't seen the series, you should probably start from the beginning. I always recommend starting from the beginning. And right now, I believe we've got about 19 episodes up. So yeah, there's a good. Well, they're average anywhere from 10 to 12 minutes of videos. So if you roughly say 10, that's 190 minutes of binge watching. So yeah, it's worth the watch. I know we're not back with War Thunder yet. I'm still having issues with it. But as soon as I get it all figured out, I'll switch back. For right now, we're just sort of doing the storyboard for Star Trek Online and seeing where it takes us. Actually, I've had some decent conversations as of late with some viewers on it. And we all seem to come up with the same conclusion. Yes, it's an old video game. Still a lot of fun. But it would be great if they made another one. I'm getting actually quite a few bales out back here. We've got about 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows here. So if I go back down on this one, we should have enough for another load here. At least. And if I'm coughing a little bit tonight, I'm not sick, I'm feeling fine. Only biggest thing is I was back to drywalling again today, so the dust gets to me. But hey, what do I do? Dum 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 dum. Now, no. I was gonna say now we're halfway. No, we're not. We're still not halfway across this freaking field. As I'm looking on the map, no, I don't think we're halfway across yet. Oh, yeah. Well, we're 57% done this contract. Where am I here? Oh, not halfway. Close, but not halfway. So like I was saying, well, we'll get to the end of this one, I'll start coming up the other side, and then we'll haul the trailer full. That's over there. We'll haul that in, get that up and going, and then we'll come back and load up some more. I am almost curious to know if the auto loader will work with the truck. If not, this is the best way, I guess. Just time when you're considering trucking this stuff, the 1-ton pickup truck over there is, and the long trailer, it's way quicker for transportation. It's a bit longer for loading, but I think we figured out a pretty decent method now, so we basically jackknife the trailer so I can't move forward or backwards, and then we just push the bales on. 3 at a time. Then we sort of in-walk the top so we can do the strapping. I guess all in all, it works pretty good. Big frickin' field of bales. That's why I was kind of thinking, if we do end up finishing, and that's why I don't want to get too far ahead of myself and just bale the whole thing, is if it gets to the point where we're officially done the contract, I want to swap over and do round bales for myself. If I get at least, honestly, if I get about 30 bales, I think I'd be happy. But if it ends up being like a lot more than 30 bales, then I might sell some. But I'm just thinking this would be like a free, not so much payday, but a free feed thing for my sheep. Alright, I'm just going to come back up this road a little bit here, drop one more bale, and then swap out and haul this load. I think this might be halfway. That is frickin' weird. Alright, I think I'm probably close enough to just hop out and hop over to my truck. Alright, I guess I could go halfway down the row, hop over, and then grab the truck. That's kind of sad to say. This is a huge field for hay. Hay now, that's a bunch of frickin' hay. Yeah, okay, I think I'm close enough now. Well, yeah, that gives us another 4 or 5 rows, so we have a lot of bales to pick up. I think I'll continue down this road, though, and clean up as much as I can that's outstanding. That's why with the tractor, there's no way that the tractor could do 100 to 120. I will say that not doing it the other way, the other way I can haul more bales, but it's a lot more time consuming to make sure they're loaded right. This one you just basically push them on, push them tight, call it good. I guess I don't actually have all the bales on it. There we go. Or all the straps. That's better. I don't think that's coming off anytime soon. Don't worry, for 1 ton, this is impressive. Especially with the 1 bale in the box. I'm just wondering, because it doesn't have a PTO, so I don't think I could actually use that other trailer. I'm willing to try it and just see, but I don't think so. If I could, it would speed it up dramatically. But I can haul my tractor on top of this trailer with this truck. Strange as it may be. It is struggling to do 130. I know this truck does 240, but it's struggling to do the speed that it currently is. But that's the reason why I'm using it, is how much faster it is just to haul the bales in. Gonna have to dip the tires into the ditch to get this thing around the corner nice though. Well, that bale's not gonna fall out of the truck anytime soon. As I get it in here. Boink! Or 47% transported. Alright, let's go G, let's hit L. Bonk, 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 bonk. 58% hold. That's why I say that's a quick method of hauling. And hey, we're 58%. Yeah, I can't see this thing working. Because this truck does not have a PTO. I might be able to haul it, but I can't conceivably see this thing actually working. Will it go into operation mode? Holy crap, it does. Alright. This truck is very magical. Let's try it. What do you mean? What do we got to lose? Other than the fact I'm going to have to cut across my neighbor's field. Yeah, let's cut across his field. There's nothing here. This is the one that for potatoes that we took off. I guarantee there's nothing in here because this is the field that really royally teed me off because I managed to harvest all of it and got nothing in return. A very magical truck apparently has a PTO on it. Whoa! FYI, I don't think this trailer was designed with this truck. This truck honestly still doesn't know that there's a trailer behind it. So should we see how fast we can do this? Maybe he's got a hydraulic pump in the back and that's just how it magically works now. Shall we try it out? The ultimate in hauling bales. Bonk. Oh, it does work. Okay, we found a hack. It only does 2. This trailer would be awesome if it does 3. So we can haul till we're blue in the face. The heck, we might as well just go down this row. This is way quicker. I just can't believe this works with a pickup truck. And in theory, it doesn't matter that it's just this pickup truck. The lizards would technically do the same thing. And actually, I question it too. The side-by-side might do the same thing. We have found a glitch in the matrix. Oh, hold on here. Technically speaking, in real life, we have done something similar. It's sort of. It was the cousins. Yeah. I was trying to think about that for a second, but yeah, no, it was. We did do it. We wanted to see what we could do with this stupid side-by-side. So we ended up hauling the baler. And yeah, it pulled it no problem. It didn't even know it was there. So his in particular has a modified trailer plug so that we could actually, plug it in and everything else. Well, he's also got a hydraulic pump on it because there was some form of a unit that he can put on it that he can run a hydraulic pump, and I think it's for his auger setup. And because only the side-by-side fits there. And I do believe we actually used it. Oh, whoa. The other trailer is more stable than this one. We actually did use it, and we got it to work with the quad. And yes, it would, even though it's technically PTO, which is power takeoff, it worked with hydraulic pump instead of just using the PTO. But heaven forbid that you load that thing up with a bale on the inside. Oh, it was rough. Drop a bale out of the back and it frickin' lifts the whole frickin' back end of the quad off the ground. You basically are left with one, maybe two-wheel drive. Not really designed for it. Does it work? Yes. Should you? No. There's a reason why you hook up your tractor to it. Yeah, isn't that strange? I can run with like 30 bales on the other trailer, and with this one it wobbles back and forth. Kind of proof that the other one's a little bit more stable. this is the ultimate in cheatiness of cheaty proportions. I'm just curious. Like, this was a very fast load, so this was 14 bales in a very quick succession. 63% hold. More. So that was 5%. We hauled 5% of the bales in that short period. I mean, it does work. I guess we keep doing what works. It's definitely quicker. I just thought, being that it's PTO, that there's no way I could hook up to it with the truck, but I didn't think it would work. Unless it's got some sort of electronic controller. We'll just make this up and say that he's got instead of using the power takeoff, he's got a gearbox on the end with electric conversion, so it magically works, right? I mean, no different than having a clutch and a power takeoff unit on a tractor. Just have a gearbox on the end. Have it with an electronic hydraulic pump. Away you go, right? Engage it, and away it goes. Oh yeah. Boink. Okay, that's what I'm sticking to, alright? Because what other explanation would you have that this actually works like this? We have rednecked it up. Yes, we have. We've entirely rednecked this. This is a full redneck production. That's the only explanation I can think of how a pickup truck magically works with this. It's kind of like how did I pick up a bale that was completely sideways? Or like this one. I accidentally bump into it and it just magically puts it on. Well, that didn't take long to get 50% full. I mean, I'm pretty impressed by this. This is a different turn of events. Doink, doink. It's a heavily modified pickup truck. We'll just leave it at that. Well, the fact that it can haul 30 bales on a trailer in the first place. But that's just goes back to what we originally said. If the tires move and it rolls, you're good. Just don't get caught with an overload. There's 13 and one more makes 14. There we go. And that'll be another 5. Hey, look, I'm power drifting a frickin' bale hauler. So we're at 63, so this should be 68% hauled. And we could probably, there's probably enough bales there to do 2 more loads. So we could do 2 more loads with it, and that would be another 10% on top of the 68. So we'd be at 78% hauled on like half the field. Which means if we, probably with this one, if we baled 4 more rows, that would be about 30 bales. So it'd be another 2 loads, would be 10 more percent, so it'd be 88. 98 would be 8 rows. Say 9 rows. If we baled another 9 rows, we would probably be. I would want to take a bet that we'd be pretty close to done, and then we can buy a stack nicer, and you can get a really nice tight stack of them. Like, you technically can square off these ones and just go, right? But the other thing is, I prefer the round ones just because the amount that you typically get. Well, that's not entirely true. You can get pretty giant frickin' square ones. It's just the usability. I find the round ones are easier. See, 68%. We're getting 5% of load from this thing. That's not bad. Not to mention it's a little bit less of a. Oh, look! This is episode 4 of baling hay. Yes, it is. We're getting closer with this. This is way faster. Technically speaking, we've hauled 36 bales. No, that's not right. 14, that's 28. 28 and 14 is 42. We've hauled 42 bales in a very short period of time. And that'll be 6. That'll be 56 bales for the next one. In a period of time that I could only haul maximum 30. So we've definitely upped production significantly doing it with our heavily modified 1-ton here. Okay, power drift into a tree. That's actually, yeah, that's yeah, okay. That actually makes sense. Hell, I'll just go like this. I'll just pick up that one straight bale, turn around, come back then this one, turn around, go back. And then we're straight down the main row. Bonk. Just slam that sucker home. I'm pretty sure if you hit it at that speed, it would probably just graze, bounce off, like go straight over, and then you have to pick it up again. Boink. Bonk. Bunker. Bunker, bunker, bunker. Bunker. Alright, flip that sucker up. I'll get one more row and then I can head back straight down. Oh yeah, and then I tap into it that time and it was like, no. This thing is a mystery. Well, we're over halfway loaded. 9, 10. 4 more and we're loaded. Two more and we're loaded. Let's pick up these two since they're right here. Yeah, I can get at least another load. There's at least 14 more bales there. Gotta remember, technically speaking, I have only baled half the field. And we'll be at 73% hauled. So, you know. But yeah, no, I definitely want to bring in and haul a bunch for feed for those sheep. Like, I always break the bale and shred it down for feed. It's a lot better storage than piling just straight grass. Yeah, I could use this silage, I guess. But I don't want to. And we get one more load at least, so that brings it up to 78%. That's great. And you should never drive with a unloading procedure like this. But again, this whole practicality of a PTO and using it on a truck doesn't make any sense anyway, so. The reality of it. This game is really close to realism, as realism gets, but there are some things that are just questionable. No, that one said 74%. That was actually a 6% load. Well, we might actually get this field done tonight if that's the case. And believe me, the brown bales seem to go faster. I don't know why. I really don't. Maybe it's just because they're bigger. Well, we could pick up another 14, haul it. Even if it is 5% this load instead of 6, then that gets up to 79%, which I think is probably closer to the truth. I don't know why I went 6% this time. I went to 74. It was 68, unless it's like 5.5% each time. Or 5.25, and after the fourth load it finally tripped to 6. I don't know. We still gotta figure out what the heck we're gonna do with this oil. Do we just have a selling point? I would like to make it into diesel fuel. That's what I would like to do. And I can always use the diesel fuel at least. I missed that by a country mile. There we go. Oh, I would really like to use the diesel fuel and have a selling point somewhere else. Would like to keep all the industry for the most part not on the farm. Like to have it as its own industry place. So where the town is and everything like that, I would prefer the industry to sort of stay around that area. Like, there's nothing saying that we couldn't make a road and have the industry in there somewhere. But definitely a little bit more intrigue having like the oil derricks, one every X amount here, there, and everywhere type. Because believe me, out here, that is probably closer to practical than anything else. Like it used to be dime a dozen. They used to be like one every half a quarter. Okay, that's 11. I'm pretty sure I have 3 more in this row. So what do we roughly figure? 9 more. Well, once we get down here, I only have 1 more bale to pick up here. Okay. Yeah, no, PTO's not even running. Just a very magical truck. So does this pick me up? I'm a bale. So yeah, this is this one. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. In theory, that's how much I think it'll take to finish off this contract. So we have still 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 rows. Beyond the 9 that it would take to finish this. I think, I don't know this entirely, but I think we're going to do alright. And while I'm bailing, I'll look up balers. Kind of wanted a baler ground baler before. It's just, it was like, yeah, I can't justify it just for a tiny little bit of hay that I have around my home front. Now, a biomass plant uses silage bales to create biomass, and they're worth a small fortune. The only problem is, a biomass plant starts at about 1.2 million. Okay, slight problematic. Slightly. Oops. Cut that corner sharp. And I don't know in this game, when this truck says it's doing like 200, if it really is doing about 200. Because right now, at 100 and roughly about 120, this feels like what the normal 80 is in a pickup truck. Well, shall we see if this is 79 or 80? I would be very impressed if it was 80. Alright, back me up. That's close enough. Bonk. 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 79. Okay. Hey, at 79%, we're still doing alright. The hell is this spot? I can sell wood here? Okay. So that's just a straight warehouse of sorts. Alright, cool. We're at 79% hold for this. So, in theory, if we make another 28 bales, that should give us another 10%, so that's 89. So, in theory, we need 48 bales to roughly get pretty close to, that's it for contract. Say 50 for good luck. I don't know how many bales I still have out and about. I guess we could quickly take a look and count and go around the field and figure it out. There's at least 6 on that backside. I believe. Well, technically speaking, while I'm driving on the backside, I could pick up the bales instead of just, yep, I'm counting bales. Yep, that looks about like 6. Why don't I just pick them up? Then we know how much we have. Then we know how much we need to make. I know, that seems logical. What the heck is logic? We got a lot of rows left. Oh yeah, there's at least 6 back here. Well, oops. Well, I shot that sucker flying. Okay, that's 2. 3. 4. 6 back here. We have 8. We probably don't even need to do that many rows. Considering I only need 6 more bales to finish this thing off. Whee! Power slide. Okay, well, there's 2 more. 3 more, actually. 4. Okay, there's more in this row than I thought. So there's 12. Do we have 2 more? I think we do, don't we? Yep. Alright, officially we're out of bales on this field, but we made 1 more load. That should tell us all we need to know. I didn't think there was actually 14 more sitting out here. But there was. Technically, I've still got bunches of little pieces of grass everywhere on this field. But I'm not too worried about it. So yeah, well, there's another full load. If we get another 5, that'll make us at 83. 83? 89. 84%. Okay. That'd be 89 for another 14. 28 would be 94. And then the 4 is 42. Okay, we'll still say 50 bales. Because 3 more loads at 84% is 89, 94, 99. So we need, I'd say, 50 more bales. That should get us that special margin. So we might as well just bale 50 friggin' bales. And we can figure out with our round baler what we can do. And I'm not too worried. Like, if I'm not using this trailer to do my own stuff, who cares? I'm just going to basically drop them off at my main farm for now, not the secondary one where all the sheep and everything is. Because I'm not driving that far with the friggin' tractor. Power that sucker around the corner a bit too fast. Well, there we go. That wasn't 84, that was 85%. Yeah, so still, let's sort of plan for 50 more bales, and we'll go from there. I don't think it's actually going to be too bad. And turning the corner gently without putting everything in the ditch. Actually, speaking of potatoes, real life potatoes, I gotta do mine. I think we did about 70 hills last year, so I want to do probably, and I think it was 30 hills for my buddy, or my dad's buddy. So say 100 hills. I probably want to do at least 15 and 15 for the whites and reds for him. Okay. I dare you try that in real life. Yeah. So I'm thinking I'd rather have less whites. I use more reds. I use Pontiac reds. So I'm probably going to do 45 red, 25 whites. Hey, cool, we're starting over. It's like one bale, eh? We got our first bale, eh? Oh, yeah, 49 more to go. Okay, we won't take a look yet for round balers until I'm on the next row, because this one's a shorty. By the time I actually find what I'm looking for, it'd be like, oh, I'm in a tree. Oops. Well, there's two. This isn't going to take that long to get that many. I'll have a third one by the time I get down there. I think I averaged 7 bales of row. I think that's what it is. 7 or 8. Of course, we did get 8 on that back row. Oh, there's 3. Will it pop out? Probably not. This isn't as thick a row as that guy. Came close, but no cigar. Oh, we got 3 anyways. There's 4. Okay. Implements. We want to go with the baling. That's bale loaders. That's a round one. 48,000 for him. 57 for them. what does the big round bales? I'm thinking of probably going with the big round bales. Probably still only get 2 on a trailer. Oh, that reminds me. So that one was, what was it, 57? And we can manage that. That's not a bad problem. What bales we got on this row? 3? Okay, we're still doing good there, so let's go back to balers. 127, this does the 180. That's way too more fancy than I need. Yeah, okay. Why? Okay, we got a round baler. I've already lost track how many bales I have. It was 3 on the outside, and then whatever this one will be, we'll count back when we go again. So we can do the big boy ones, 187. And yes, because this does 73, I am going to pick it up with this tractor. Because we're not finishing this contract until everything's all said and done. I think we average 8 each one, so 2 rows is 16 bales. So 2 rows is a touch over 1 trailer. Even if it's 15 bales each, it's still 2 rows. So we only need 6 rows to actually complete. Alright, so we dropped 1. So that's 1 for this side. So that would be 4 so far. And we might as well do a total. Five, 6. Well, that didn't take long. Seven. 8. Okay, we got over half a trailer. That's 9 there. Remember, I already counted the other one. So that's 9. This is 10 coming off the back here. That's 11. And this is 12 coming off the back. That's 13 there. This is 14 coming out of the back. That's 15 there. And we do have 1 there, so that's 16 bales, and then we might get 1 more coming out of the back before we're at the end. Pretty close. Not quite though. So we have 16 bales total. This will be 17. That's not too bad. Let's take a look at trailers now. What do we got for trailers? Bale loaders. See, that's what the one I have, and it does other ones too. That one actually does double loads. I'm sure I could. Oh, hell. So that's 18. I'm off on a tangent. I'll just turn around here. I'm sure I could put them all in that trailer. Just got to make sure that it doesn't roll off that trailer. That should be fine. I've done it in real life. Why did I start going off on a tangent? I started all the way back here. Wow. Yeah, just bump you out of the way. I'd laugh if I dropped another one right beside it going, what? Yeah, so that's 17. This is 18. Here comes 19. This is a thick row. And 20. I guess at 28 we can stop and see how close we are. This will be 21. This will be 22. And it's actually going way quicker than I was expecting. 23. Nearly 24 off the back end now. That's pretty close. It's really close. Like really close. It's stubbornly hanging on with a thread. See what's going through the middle here. Really? You're one bump away from bouncing off. Yeah, it's one little light bump away from going, oops. Fine, let's start at this row. There it is. 24. $25. 26. $27. And come on, 27. You can make it. You can follow anytime now. And one more will make 28, and then we can haul and see how close we are. we're not going to finish by the end, so we might as well go all the way to the end. Boot it all the way to the end and see what we're at. Then we can pick him up with Magic Truck there. I mean, I guess technically speaking, you can run something like that off of one ton, because you could run your power takeoff off of an electronic hydraulic pump off of technically your trailer plug. I've seen it done. It's not the most practical, but where have I seen it done? Oh, I remember. It was the Hutterites. That's right, too. Their main tractor they used for baling broke down, which was a Fendt. I remember this now. And they got a hydraulic pump, which they ran off of the trailer plug into a battery that was like basically a trickle charge, I think it was. And they had a switch on the inside of the cab that they could play with, and they could actually physically run the baler from inside the truck. It's no different than us trying with the side-by-side. Very impractical, especially when you go to unload the bale and it lifts back into your truck off the ground. Or in our case, the side-by-side. Can it be done? Yes. Should you? No. At no given point is any of that a good idea. Alright, that should be... heck. Let's bail all the way up to the truck and then we'll swap it out. I know we still have lots, but I don't want to do it all in this one because then I want to switch over to round bales that I want to keep. If I can get a third of it with my own, I don't know how many round bales I'll get out of it, but we physically bought it. Okay, we're at about 28 plus 3 was 31, and whatever we've dropped so far on this one, which I think is not 3, 36. By the time I get up to about the truck, that'll be about 37. We've almost got 3 loads. Well, no, not quite 3 loads. Let's see what we're up against here. Just like real farming. You spend most of your time running back and forth to equipment than you are actually doing anything. The newest one is going to be the automation of systems. We were talking about this the other night. That if there was a point where farming became more automated, which I can see happening, I really can. I couldn't see it as a big operation. Like, even if you were a big operation, say you had a farm that was, say, 50,000 acres. That's a good-sized farm. It's not the largest farm I've ever seen, but it's a good-sized farm. I couldn't see using multi-million dollar pieces of equipment and automating it. Those pieces of equipment, the larger the equipment is, the more intensive they are. So you're doing a lot more hands-on maintenance of them. Even though they could be technically automated, you'd be spending more time inside the unit to catch it when it gets stuck and whatnot in a very tight area. As a human, we can take a look at it and go, okay, well, if I take a chunk out of this, back up, take a chunk back up, I can get around this eventually. Not a problem. But as a hypothetical, completely bypass that. As a hypothetical, we were thinking, taking a look at my little yard tractor, it's only a 47 horse. But technically, you could run the unit. Oh, I missed the bill over there. You could run the unit as, you know, that little tractor can run lots of little things. Technically speaking, you could even run a small combine off of it if you really had to. And that's where we're kind of going on about. It's like you could do small seed operations, and what if you had 10 of those units? Like right now, to buy new for our tractors, about 60,000. It's expensive, but if you had 10 of them, that's 600,000. If you had them all automated and it was doing the job of a $1 million unit, you have a $400,000 savings, and at that, if like, especially if you're doing a quarter section, say you're seeding, okay, you have a quarter section of land, you have a $1 million tractor, well, not quite, they're about 750,000, brand spanking new, depends on the paint color, and yes, it does depend on the paint color, so say you have that, cool, groovy, awesome, right? At 750,000, you have a Bourgault air cart seeder, and you have a 120-foot drill. That's going to run you about 450. So now we're up at, what is that? 250 is $1 million. So you have 1.2 million just in that. Okay, you buy a bunch of little seeders for these. Say, remember, we have 10 of those other guys. You can run 12 foot off of mine. So you have a 12-foot. Well, times that by 10, you've got 120-foot. Same as what the other one is. Okay, so we're covering, with 10 units, we're covering the same space with a fraction of the cost, because we're at 600,000 with the cost of the tractors, and they wouldn't be air carts. So you wouldn't need a 120-foot Bourgault, and you wouldn't need the 100, like the air cart or anything else. Basically, you just have a normal, not say so much as a planter, but I would say as a drill. Those, if the ones I'm thinking of for the little tractors, which can run pretty much any kind of seed, those run you about 32,000 or something like that. I want to say 32,000 sounds about right. Oh, we're at 90. So say 32,000 times 10, that's 320,000, and on top of our 600,000. So we're still under $1 million. So you're still looking at about $300,000 savings. Now, typically, the bigger the unit, the more, well, that's why you buy the bigger tractors, more power, everything else, so you have more torque to get through. Right, cool, we're on the same page. We're figuring it out that those little tractors, you wouldn't be doing about 5 miles an hour. You'd probably be going a lot faster. Probably be seeding, because your typical drill, you're only going down 3 inches. So you're probably doing about 6 miles an hour. Doesn't sound like much. You're gaining maybe mile and a half an hour more. Remember, these are fully automated. You don't have 10 people sitting in these tractors. They're all automated on a computer system. So the same one guy that was operating that big unit is now running 10. We've roughly figured it as those 10 units will take a fraction of the time and a way less fuel. Like those big tractors use a ton of fuel. Our little one is, you put 5-gallon pail in it, it's full. You run it for 12 hours on a tank of fuel on 5 gallons. I guarantee that big giant tractor is using more than 5 gallons for 12 hours of runtime. That's the efficiency aspect that we're looking at. It's like, yeah, in 12 hours with 10 of them, you get that quarter section done under a full automation. So that's 50 gallons of fuel. Even yet, you're not using 50 gallons of fuel in that big tractor with a big unit. You're gobbling up a heck of a lot more than that. And that's why we're going, the automation thing, it'd be rough right now. It'd be really hard to justify the difference. But you start looking at it and you're going, I can see the benefits to it. Not to mention, those little tractors can get around in places that those big units just can't go, which means you have technically better usability of your ground. The other aspect to it that kind of intrigued us was the fact that the one big problem with having giant units is something called soil compaction. Typically, you run the same program every year. So you're running the same paths. Well, if you do it year in and year out, you're compacting the living shit out of your ground, which is a problem. The more soil compaction you have, the less chance you're actually going to have anything to grow, because if soil is hard, the seeds can't push up through the hard pack, and you lose a percentage of your crop. So by doing this, you're actually having way less soil compaction, because 10 units, those tractors aren't, they're not making giant ruts in the field or anything like that. They're also way lighter in general, so they can probably get in places that big tractors you wouldn't dare take. And of course, it depends on the soil, right? So we got 1 bale, 2 bale, 3 bale, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, we only have 9 more bales. Holy crap, we just did a donut with a friggin' full load of bales. So we have 9. We need 5 more. 5 more to make our 14. So yeah, it's really kind of intriguing with the whole concept of automation. Like, if we were going down that road with automation tractors and stuff, I think smaller would be better. Now, mind you, it doesn't matter if it's automated or not. The one major downside to having more rather than less is you have 10 times the maintenance. So yes, you have better efficiency of fuel. The parts are a fraction of the cost. It's just, instead of having 1 unit to worry about and maintain, you have 10. But mind you, in a 12-hour period of time, you're not doing a quarter section. Typically speaking, if you have 1 unit, well, let me think about this now. What the hell were we averaging? We were actually using a 120-foot Borgo. My neighbor, he's also using a Borgo, but it's only an 80-foot. Yeah, it's not that big, but he can't have too big because he's got hills and stuff too. The quarter and 80 around my place. He did that in, I would say, as a conservative number, I think he did that in about 9 hours. So A quarter and 80 is basically a quarter and a half, or a quarter and an eighth. So it's 3/8 of a section. Okay, we're at 96, yeah. I'd say one more load. We'll hold one more full load, and that should be good for the contract, and then we can just focus on getting the bales off with my equipment. So, yeah, so when you really start breaking it down and thinking about it, that quarter section, in 9 hours, he did the quarter and 80, so in a quarter section, that unit probably would have taken about 7 hours. Well, not necessarily. 9 hours, so divide that by 2, roughly, it would be 3/4 of a quarter. So you're looking at about 135 acres in 4.5. That'd be about 5.5 hours. Say 6 total to most of a quarter section, right? Or the better part of a quarter section. Depends on how much crap you have to go around. But, yeah, if you think about it, yeah, so 6 hours. Now I'm actually figuring out the math behind this. 6 hours for one unit, and you're covering an 80-foot span at a shot. So, and you're covering 120 with 10 tractors, and you're going, even yet with that speed, you're going pretty close to the same, but not quite. I would want to say you're actually doing with 10 units going hash out, you probably get away with doing it in about 4 hours. I think you could cut it down. Yeah, I'm thinking so, because if going the same speed, going basically one right after the other, you're covering 40 more feet going the same speed, but you're covering more ground. Oops. So yeah, I'd say you could probably do it in about 4.5 hours with those small guys. And I know a lot of people go, you can't be serious about using a 12-foot. Hey, my grandfather, when he used the seed, he thought it was amazing when he had a 20-foot. Right? Well, they still don't make those. Yeah, they do. Actually, they do it for test plots. So, when you're a farmer, new technology and better quality seeds come out all the time. Well, I was right. There was 9. So, with better quality seed, what you end up having is these options, you could say, to test. So you basically end up doing down and back, which is about a 24-foot span. So yeah, you use 12-foot friggin' cedar. Alright, there's 1. There's actually 2 there. We need 5. I'm going to say 3. And the 4th one, I'll see if I can push. Well, we got 2 out there, and there's the 3rd one on the back end. Let's finish this row and see if I can fold the baler, which I think should kick out the bale. Okay, let's try it. Unload bale. Oh, look at that. Sweet. That should be everything. So yeah, it's definitely something interesting to think about, and we honestly don't know what the best formula is, because well, we've never done anything like it. So I don't know if a 37 horse tractor versus a 54 horse tractor is the right option. Maybe, I don't know. I want to say it probably is. Like you're probably far more better off having like a 54 horsepower tractor, have say 8 of them with a 24-foot seeder. Usually don't run over your equipment. That's a life hack there. So yeah, no, when you really break it down and you really start thinking about it, if you actually say bought a 54 horsepower tractor, which is capable of handling up to a 24 foot, versus say a little tractor like mine, you have 8 of them, you basically still end up being about the same as the 37 horse. It's just, it's more practical because there's more usage for it. And they're, again, it's a little bit more efficient. They are bigger fuel tanks, but it's still, say you ran it for 4.5 hours, and you can get 20 hours life out of it. That means you can do 5 quarter sections before, well, 4 quarter sections, say a section, and then you have to fill up. I can tell you, from experience, that those big seeders gobble through the frickin' fuel, and DEF. We still have the problem with the DEF, unless you delete it, but then you have other issues. To bypass it on a tractor is very interesting. Truck, yeah, no problem. You can delete the program, and you can basically bypass it. Not an issue. And for all those environmentalists out there, DEF is not better for the environment than the regular stuff. DEF kills plants. I don't know why that's probably one of the reasons why trucks in this area are still using non-DEF. Actually, I've noticed a lot of the tractors aren't either. But yeah, no, DEF is a huge problem. And if you spill it, yeah, good luck. Goodbye, plant life. Diesel fuel, if you spill it, at least plants will still grow. Yeah, maybe not the best thing for plants, but at least things will still grow. DEF? No, it kills it. It's like Roundup, permanent Roundup. You want to kill anything? Yeah, use DEF. Whoever thought that was a good idea? Oh, it's better for the environment. Oh, okay, you're not, I give you that, you're not polluting it with a big plume of black smoke. Gotcha, that is actually better. I agree with you there. The fact that the fumes coming off it are more poisonous, yeah. Poisonous to plant life. That's, oh, holy crap, $5,000? Okay. The extra bales I sold were $5,000. I need to pick up a trailer down here. If there was a way to put the baler on the trailer, well, I wonder. Oh, I don't think I can. I was thinking, could I put the trailer? This might work. I don't have a backup camera. It's impossible to hook these up. Ah, yeah. Yeah, jackknife it. That's fine. This is working. So it's got all freaking power. Alright, if I keep this down nice and neat. Now it's on an angle. Nope. I'll try again. It's probably a damn sight easier and quicker just to bring the tractor down, pick the baler up, rather than the weird concoction plan that I'm thinking of here. And you know what I'm thinking of, because it's the same spot that I loaded the tractor on. Maybe. Hey, if with a hookup to the baler, so we obviously know I can hook up with PTOs and stuff. That's fine. Somehow. Crunch. Let's see if I can load it on the trailer by myself. I don't think so, but we're gonna give it a shot. But what do we got to lose? Other than the trailer riding away with me. Oops. Yeah, the trailer wants to go away. Actually, it was kind of working. I got the front end up, but now it drove away on me. Why don't we just go down and pick it up with the tractor? That would probably be better for everyone. Alright, can I hook you up now? No, you're off on a tangent. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna need this for my bale operations. So yeah, the whole automation thing, going back to it, it's very intriguing. A lot more needs to happen before farmer will go, yay, that's a great idea. Let's just jump fully into it. The biggest problem that I could see, and this is the same thing with using GPS in general, is the spotty network that we have. And that's one of the main reasons why, even when we're doing auto steer and stuff like that with the combines, you have to be physically in the combine watching at all times, because especially in one area that we harvest in all the time, it's got a lot of deep hills, and you get at the bottom of them and all of a sudden you have no solid surface. So immediately the auto steer just turns off and you're left with your combine, which you got a freehand. And it depends on the level of skill that you have to being able to go, okay, I want to continue this line, because the next time you go through that line, it very well might be when you do it, it's like, okay, the auto steer now works. If you start wandering away from that line, now you're leaving ribbons of, well, what we call ribbons of grain that's left over, which you either got to go back and grab, or you've got to go and do something with, because it's just it's a double negative, because no matter which way you look at it, if you're not paying attention and you don't keep those lines straight, you have to come back and pick it up, which means you're wasting fuel, you're wasting time, and if you don't do it, you're wasting your product. So there's no, I was cut across again, this was a potato field. No matter which way you look at it, you're kind of hooped. Yeah, that's the way we were looking at it too. It's like, this ain't good. So that's why you've always got to be paying attention while you're operating, because it's like, okay, what happens if it goes horribly wrong for you? And a lot of times it's not like, okay, well, I'm just going to stop the combine, back up, and cut it again. Now you can't do that because you got a combine that's maybe 50 feet from you. We typically run in fours. We run threes when we're going back and forth, but we run fours in the field, which means you always have we call it an outlier. You have one combine that's doing your free rounds so on the outside. We tend to do 3 rounds on the outside, but when we first start to do it, for some reason I always get stuck doing the outside rounds. What I end up doing is I go out first, and I usually end up going first. Well, it depends. There's usually a guy that does a little patch in the front, so all the equipment can run into the field without squashing the grain and doing all that stuff. But I usually end up being me doing the outside round. And what I do is I go ahead of everyone, at least half field further. And what I end up doing is when I get to the end, I end up doing a partial. Like, I don't finish the free round. I do a partial, come back, and then go again. That way the combines can turn around in their sequence and go back down without running into anything. And typically what we end up doing is everyone else will we'll dump me first, and then they'll wait for the other ones to get full. But if I dump right away up down there, I usually can make it all the way around before having to dump again. So I get one full complete lap, and then I typically will do a auto steer going down sometimes nearly the middle of the field. Depends on where I ended up on the other end rounds. Burn down there, empty again, and do another round. Go down that same path, just offside, one more row. Dump again at the end, and do my third round. That's usually what happens. Sometimes I have to dump on the outside rounds a secondary time. But if that happens, what I do is I make a little pocket so the grain cart can scoot beside me so I can offload. So is it a lot of work to do it? Oh yeah. And then there's other times that I get shafted and I end up being with a smaller combine. I get shafted a lot actually when I think about it. I digress, but I caught hard. But when it goes in, like when I end up getting shafted in that, I end up going up with the big headers, not the Hydroflex. But I end up getting a smaller, basically a honeybee. Oh yeah, great. I forgot. Let's just do this. Well, that's a baby bale. That is a cute little baby bale. Where is I forgot to set this thing. That is a baby bale. Right, that's the maximum. Yes, 180 is the maximum. All right, we're good to go. So yeah, when we go to do everything, what I end up doing is a lot of times I do. If that's the case, I do 5 outside rounds with good quality grain. But if it's green grain, I'm the guy that does the first outside round with green grain, and then I'll do empty it. And depending on what vehicle we're using, we have the dual hopper trailer. That shouldn't be a cute little bale. There we go. That's much better. That looks like a real one. Yeah, so I end up doing all the green cuts, and if there's anything around sloughs and that, I end up cutting, like, if the slough's on the other end of the field, I don't just burn straight across the good grain and go harvest it. What I'll do is I'll go to the shallowest point, get in there, go around everything. That way, what we found, or what Cousins found, is we tend to get a better yield. So, if you're not mixing green grain or lodged grain in with your high quality grain, you end up with a couple different yield qualities. Which in turn, the yield qualities are, you get a little bit more profit. It's just, unfortunately, I am the piggy in the middle as it is, and I get shafted, and I am the guy that has to go out and do that. But hey, at the end of the day, I'm not going to complain. It's a lot of fun, actually. Like, I know there's a lot of people out there that go, God, that's got to be boring as hell. It can be if you make it out to be. But you don't have to make it out to being a boring experience. Like, we tend to do alright on it. I know there's been many a time that I've done 24-hour clock. Yeah, wanna come back to me after that and go, how tough was that? And you go, you're pretty tired after that. You basically end up sleeping for like 16 hours after. You're probably looking at this going, this is way slower than the other one. It kind of is, but I'm a round bale kind of guy. I don't know why. I really don't. Maybe it's just because that's the way we have always done it, was round bales. Bonk. Yeah, I've definitely had some fun. I've done some hay baling and whatnot. I've done a whack of swathing over the years, mostly with rape. But I've done a lot of combining. Like I said, I'm usually the guy that either does the outside rounds or I do the green line. And what I guess what happens with that stuff is because it's green. It's not a quality product. I guess what happens to that is it becomes feed grain. So it's not like it's useless. There's still a use for it. I always wondered where it went after. It's like, well, you don't put it in a frickin' silo. So, where does it go? Well, the end of the story goes, it literally gets used as feed grain, so he sells it as feed grain, which is kind of cool. I always like to see the best usability of products. And again, like one of one of the guys I know that actually farms quite a ways away from us, but got to know him a fair bit. They have, if they have a good year, they have a great year type thing, but their normal years are lately have not been good. They've been going through a major drought, so they still plant the seed, and they kind of go by the rule of thumb of if you plant in the dust, your bins will bust. And there is some merit to it. A lot of times that is exactly the case. You plant in the dust, your bins will bust. However, the last 3 years have not been the case. So he plants a lot of durum and whatnot, because farming is a gamble. It is one of the greatest gambles that you can ever do. If you do well at it, you're going to do really well at it. In other years, you might do squat, but you don't know. So, like, you think about it going, okay, well, this is kind of strange and whatnot, but he plants the durum because durum is, out of any field, it is got to be the hardiest field in drought. And like he says, some fields all of a sudden you'll be getting like 19, 20 bushels an acre. It's crap, but it's something. A little bit of something's usually better than nothing. At least it covers a fraction of your cost instead of nothing. Does it hurt? Yes. But, and a lot of times, what a lot of guys say is if it covers the seed, it won't cover the cost to plant the seed, but if it covers the seed, so you have seed for next year, then you're covered. Well, last year I think he said on a good point, he was averaging 2 bushels an acre, which he says barely covers the seed for next year. And then this year, they actually got snow when they needed it. They actually got rain when they needed it. They actually have more moisture in the ground than we currently do. Now we need the rain. The crops are growing nice. Oh, I forgot to dump it. Like, don't get me wrong, our crops are starting to come. Like, I mean, the guys that planted 2 weeks ago, their crops are up. A lot of guys aren't done yet. I know the cousin's done. I know my neighbor's done. One guy that for the last 4 years never put a crop in, which we always said that he was planting deer because that's the only thing that ever grew on his property. Actually got his crops in this year, which surprised the hell out of everyone. My other neighbor, he's all done. So yeah, no, it's, crop-wise and everything around here, most guys are, I would say, done if not close. Which is good. I'm thrilled over the moon. Anytime that you can get your crops in, that's awesome. Oh, that's another thing. I've actually run air seeders too. I am not a fan of the air seeder. I really am not. I'm more of a traditionalist. Well, in some regards, the air seeders are great, but the zero-till thing bugs me. It really does. I get why they do it. Cost is a huge one. You're not out there cultivating your field constantly. You're not doing all this extra stuff. Which, yeah, okay, I get it, right? But the problem is, the more you do zero-till, the harder your field gets from that soil compaction again. and the less your field grows. And then also the other problem with that is the amount of straw and stuff that isn't being worked into the ground, which means your fertilizer costs are higher. I know it's you start thinking about it going, really? Well, how's that? Well, if the plant from the years past isn't rotting, you're actually starving your soil. So if you don't have any nutrition going back into your soil, you're having to replace that nutrition with fertilizers, which is not necessarily the best advantage for your field. If you want your field to stay healthy as it is, you typically want to use less fertilizers. You want Mother Nature to be Mother Nature and continue to thrive. So usually the best way behind that is to actually, do your due diligence of making sure the crop from last year gets cultivated in soil, has a chance over the winter for your hard pack to push the frost into it, which breaks down the molecules of the straw and stuff like that, and it helps rot it. So when you go to seed the next year, you're physically actually using less. And I've learned that actually from what they call them field specialists. They are a group of guys that test soil, the soil quality. They test a bunch of stuff with it. pH balances, how much potassium, nitrates, a whole bunch of stuff. There's a heck of a lot more science involved in farming these days than there used to be. It used to be you plant a crop and go, I hope that grows. Now it's like, okay, if it doesn't grow, why didn't it grow? Oh, it needed more moisture. Yeah, okay, we get that. Or, well, we use this type of fertilizer. Was that really right? Alright, that is definitely the unit I want. I want to see if I can load this trailer before I plant a billion of these frickin' things all over the hell's half acre here and going, I forgot to see if this option will work. Now this I shouldn't have to worry so much about. It should just well, so far this is working merrily well. Kevin. Alright, well, fine. Fuck you. I picked it up. I won't be able to do the sideways tube trick. Now over the years, there has been a debate on how you load your trailer with round bales. And I am willing to share this concept with you guys. We've always been told from years past that the best way to load your round bales is by that's the way you're supposed to do it, is by putting it on a tube. Okay, that's great and all. And the tubes, for the most part, actually work out pretty good. But the one problem that I've always found with tubes is if you don't have your bars set up, and if you have a flat trailer like this, what happens when they roll off? Like, it's not so bad. It's not so bad when you have the tubes, so the tubes prevent the first two from rolling. The top one is locked in. But if you don't, they just tend to roll off. And we have very interesting law here, which basically means your grandfather was an idiot type thing, and you don't require any more straps than if you strap it on the front and back. Yes, our laws are stupid here. Oh, that didn't work. Alright, well, that really didn't work. Okay, to write these are very fascinating. I just had to have round bales, didn't I? Alright, will this work now? If I set this somewhat down, are you gonna stay? Sweet. So yeah, when you're loading your trailer, you only require a strap in the front and rear. Now, how I'm loading this currently is how I would normally load these, because the possibility of you losing your load is a whole hell of a lot less. These forks are actually not really they're a bale fork, but they're not really the bale fork for this. I need to get lined up better. Alright, stay. Alright, first thing I'm gonna do is this. Boop. We have the first two on. This will get better once I get used to loading these things. But this has always been the huge debate. So if you have them as a tube, which basically means they're running the other direction, like turn them quarter turn. The biggest debate on it is, so the tubes, you only have to strap them front and back. They should be strapped on every friggin' bale. Like they really should. And you definitely want these things as tight as you can get them on this trailer. That's actually looking pretty good now if I just lower it on. I managed to scoot off without... Well, they're not super tight, but that's not bad. If you do it this way and you strap them properly and you do your tonnage blocking, where are they going to go? And that's the way we've always been taught. So the tube ones, running them the other direction. See, I'm already starting to get better at loading these. Who cares if one spike is off? Doing it the other tubes, you can probably get about, say, 8 bales going down on the tube, and then on either side. This one I think I'm probably only going to get 5, but I'm going to be able to double my load. Alright, so if I do this now, I just squeeze it tight. Oh, look at that. Probably roll them forward a little. How's that look? Much better. Let's throw a strap on that. See, and then you have your secondary one in the middle. It sort of locks them down, right? That's not the greatest load, but it'll work. It'll suffice. I guess I'll pick up the weenie. This was a mistake. Alright, well, pick up this guy. I'm going to be able to only do it like this. I wonder. Can I actually pick up 2? I know we do in the real world. Actually, the real world, I actually have a bucket with forks on it. I need to do this. Does that work? Quasi. And haul it back this way, but this ain't gonna work. So, doing it this way, I think you can actually, if I go 5 on either side instead of 8, that might not be 8. It might not be that much. Okay, I'm gonna put this. You know what? No, I'm not gonna put it in the trailer. Screw that. There we go. Put in the box of the truck. That's much better. Well, this is not politically correct by any means. It should work, but it's crooked as balls. Can I actually get my tractor to line up like that? So I'm coming in on the trailer on an angle, but will the bale be on an angle? That's the $1,000,000 question. I need to back up a little. Back up a little. One more. Oh, I am happy with that. Holy crap, we've already... Gonna need more bales in this field. What's easier? Do I aim for the middle one, or do I just aim for 2 and just go like this? Oh, that's actually easier. Screw it. Hey, thanks for coming and hanging out for a bit. So it's always been a big debate on how do you actually load your trailer. I don't know if there's necessarily a right way, but this is the way I've always known to do it. Again, I don't know if it's a right way or not. It's just the way I was always taught. Look at that. I don't know if I can get a strap in the middle. Oh, it catches it. That is kind of magical. Oh, she settled down a little bit. Oh well. It did actually catch it a bit. So, sort of half in one. There we go. We do have 6 bales on here. How am I getting it off? Quite simply put, I'm going to drive it back with the tractor. It is the easiest way. So I might actually work on this a little bit off camera. I may finish up this contract entirely, and then we can sort of go from there. Because this is a kind of a painstaking process. It's a process that I want to do, but I don't know if you guys necessarily want to watch it. I'm going to pick this guy up like this. And I'm going to see if I can skewer 2 at the same time. Hey, I am happy over that. This makes my life easier. Look at this. This is a production line. It's the odds I can get both of these on the trailer at the same time. They're kind of quasi, not really, kind of thing. You gotta admit, this is actually a pretty decent little tractor. Like, yeah, okay, I admit this is not necessarily realism. Okay, well, I got 1 bale off. Now, can I sort of not without touching the other one? No. Alright. let's try this then. Let's push him on. Let's do. That does not work. Okay, you go back on. Can I temporarily strap you? There we go. Now, this is much better production now. Yeah, right. It's considered not an entity now. Can we slide you off without sliding you off? Ooh, this is magic. Without knocking the trailer over. You know, it's great hauling them like this as the bundle, but clearly I'm having problems with it. I guess I could do this each time. Drop one bale off on the side and grab the other one and do it. Well, that wasn't actually as near as bad as I was expecting it to be. Alright, well, there's a guy here. There's a wee little guy there. I'll pick him up and throw him on top. Oh, I'll have to do it on the other side. Just because of the side that I'm on. Oh, I need to pick you up first. What am I hooked on? Other than phonics. And yes, I do remember that as a kid. I remember when those first came out. Hey, that's actually not that bad. What the hell? Alright. That is actually... it's working. This is better than I was expecting it to be honest. So yeah, off camera I'm gonna finish this guy up. And then next episode we should be no longer haying. We should be actually pretending to be farmers doing other things. And yes, I am going to put all these on my farm. Originally was going to go, yeah, it's a Johnny an Extra payday, right? But no. I think this is essentially free. How much more do I want out of this, right? So yeah, I think I'm going to finish this up probably tonight. We only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 more rows. Yay, well, we're going to have a lot more bales. Anyways, so yeah, well, I'll finish this up tonight, and then next Wednesday we're back to pretending to be real farmers again. And yeah, we'll go from there. So if you liked what you saw, make sure to leave a subscription. If you've never been here before, hit that like button, share it to your friends and family, and make sure you hit that little alert bell, letting you know when we go live. It's relatively around 8, but you know how things go. And yeah, we will see you on the next stream at 8 p.m. on Friday. And oh yeah, and make sure to check out that new series that comes live tomorrow. Anyways, take care everyone. We'll see you on